Greetings viewers, this is Monto Maverick coming at you with another review video. Today we'll be continuing and finalizing the review for the high-end Master Model RZ029 Storm Sorter. In this review, we'll be finally assembling this fully all together to see how this looks all put together. And of course, I'm going to share my 2 cents of the pros, the cons, and everything else in between. Enough of the intro, let's get to putting this together. And here we have the Storm Sorter fully assembled. And first impressions, this looks amazing. I am so pleased that I got this kit now. This by far looks amazing put together, not just from pictures alone, but actually seeing it up close. Everything just looks so well together. I was right before about saying that the wings do look a little bit bigger than the body. But I think it is to be expected, especially for this kind of kit, or for that matter, for this kind of Zord, for that, and especially for this kind of Zord, I want to say. But other than that, this definitely looks so great. It looks amazing. Like I said before, I'm so astonished by the size alone, and it actually does have a pretty good balance too. I was afraid that due to the wings, it may be a little bit side heavy, but it's actually holding its own on top of that turntable. So I am thankful for that. But aside from that, everything else do look pretty proportionate. The legs do work well. I said in the previous video, the parts video, that I thought the legs do look a little bit smaller than the body, but I think it's gonna work well, and it does. I'm thankful for that. The thrusters on the back, I would say it was pretty accurate too. The head that I stated did seem a bit bigger than other Zords kits that I have. Again, it works well. And I know I'm basically observing the obvious, but I just am so pleased the way how this turned out. From everything, from just having a fun build, the panel lining, everything about this kit is truly amazing. I was trying to pose this on top of the turntable, but this just looks a little bit too awkward and won't be able to balance right. But one thing that this kit can do is actually having a certain stance, almost like a prowling certain stance, poaching really. I don't know if poaching is the right word to say, but basically like almost like an observation, like how any type of aerial creature, or like any bird for that matter, would be on top of a tree branch or something, just observing the area or looking for its next meal kind of thing. So that's what I mean by like prowling. And this is basically the design is supposed to look. I think it's kind of funny, to be perfectly honest, but it is it's in the instructions, says on the box, just having this kind of look to it. But I much prefer the other stance that I had earlier. I do want to add before I continue is that there's actually 2 different pieces you can use in case you want to attach this to an action base. So this small piece, which supposed to come with the action base, can just go right there underneath the tail, or you can use this piece that comes with the kit, and you can actually attach it to that hole right there, and this will just encompass the body of the kit. And with the right attachment, you have something like this. And I just want to add that fortunately this piece cannot connect anywhere. Like, yeah, connect to the body of the Storm Sorter, but could not connect to the action base. So I used the other piece too, and I was a little bit concerned because, I mean, with a small piece like that, I was thinking that the Storm Sorter would be a little bit top heavy and be a little bit too big for it, but it balances pretty well, which I am thankful for. But definitely this is quite a magnificent, but also a menacing aerial pose. And this is definitely, again, this kit is just amazing. Definitely one of my top favorite Zord kits I've ever built. So this is definitely up there. And it was truly amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was a fan of the Storm Sorter little bit, especially in Chaos Century. New Century, there was only one episode that had them, so I wasn't too impressed by it. But I just got this kit on the fly, really. I was just like, okay, let me give this a shot, and I'm glad I did. This definitely by far is a magnificent piece. Now, to show you the proper articulation on this kit, let's start with the head. So the head actually has a few points if I can talk. Excuse me, I do apologize. To show proper points of articulation in the neck, there's actually a couple. You have the base that's on the body, like so, and you have the one that's on the head, like so. And of course, as shown during the pause video, the mouth can open, and the weapon can come out, like so. The thrusters can actually move around a little bit. So let me do that. Just move around just a little bit. And they can come out like so. Not back. Now on the wings has a few points of articulation. There's actually 2 points here. You have one here, that's right here, right beside this little venting part. Even another one right here. So I guess it really all depends on if you want this to move or not. The wings do move on this swivel here. Another one over here. And I briefly show this. These can move. I have a few points of articulation here. The blade can come out, like so. The tail, as I've shown in parts of the video, can go all the way up or all the way down. Focus, focus. If you excuse me. Alright, sorry about that. The camera didn't want to focus. But to finish up, so these thrusters here can move. This thruster here and the vent piece here can just rotate easily. And as for the legs can go all the way up. This is as far as it can go, just because the wings are in the way, but really it's a 360-degree rotation. This piece, where the thrusters or the vents is connected, can move up, like so. A knee bend properly, and the foot, just like how I did in the parts video. And there's a value for articulation. And to show some side-by-side comparison, here's a Storm Sword right beside the Terrace Bomber, and definitely you can tell big, huge difference. Terrace Bomber definitely is honestly half the size all around from wingspan. Actually, just to have a much better idea. There we go, expand the wings a little bit. I'll say for wingspan size, definitely the Storm Sword just topples the Terrace Bomber all around. And even if the Terrace Bomber had the rockets attached, might be a slight taller, but the Storm Sword will definitely just still all around a lot bigger. And here is the Storm Sword up beside the Gun Sniper. So yeah, definitely a lot bigger. Definitely a lot bigger. Here is it beside the Shadow Fox. And it's kind of hard to tell by this. I mean, definitely by height, the Storm Sword is bigger. But I guess from head to toe, Let's see now if, there you go, let's try it like this. Hang on, gotta focus again. There we go. So from beak, or from head to toe, from head to tail, or at the end of the beak to the tail, I would say this roughly the same length, side by side. But yes, I would say overall, this is definitely a lot bigger, but just because of the wingspan. And last but not least, here is the Storm Sorter right beside the Master Grade Shin Musha Gundam. And wingspan aside, I think the Storm Sorter actually could be a little bit bigger, a little bit taller than the Shin Musha Gundam. Knowing the weapons on back, I think I might need to focus again. No, I think okay is good. But yeah, I think this might be taller, and it looks like it is taller than top of the Shin Musha Gundam. So that definitely is saying something. This definitely matches up well with a Master Grade. And now for my final thoughts. The pros. For starters, it's definitely proportioned. That much I can say. Everything does work well. I don't think a single part of the body seems smaller, like too big or too small. Actually, rephrase that. Maybe the wings could be too big, but at the same time, it does work well. So I can't really say that it's a good or bad thing about the wingspan, because most birds, personally that I know, not personally, but from what I researched, the wingspan tends to be quite big. I mean, the American Eagle actually could be as big as a 5-foot wingspan. So I would say for the wings, it definitely does work best. So I would say pros, proportion-wise, good. Next thing is the detailing. This has a lot of detailing to it. Definitely great for panel lining. Obviously, this kit could be made for that. It's just so many areas from the head to the back, the body, the wings, the legs, almost everywhere has panel lining. So this kit is perfect for that. Next up is the posability. I would say even though it could, some things could be in a way, but just for the fact that you can have this in aerial poses, is perfect. I would definitely say this could be one of the best aerial Zords. I think it's not too many to say. Wink wink Reno, still waiting for that Kotobukiya. But that aside, some posability is very good on this as well. Now cons, honestly, I can't say they are really cons. I did mention a few things that to me were nitpicky. I wish the blades on the wings were better hidden, but at the same time, that's just part of the design. So I can't really say that's much of a con. The one thing that I can say is a con, because this did happen during the making of this video, is that the thruster on the underside of the Zord, that piece, it did fell off a couple times. So that was the only thing, but I did mention this on the parts video that the thruster and that vent were very loose. Like, yeah, without too much shaking, it will stay on. But when I was posing this, it did fell off a couple times. So that was the only con I would say about this kit. Other than that, there's not much else to say. With that being said, my final verdict, get this. Even if you're not a Zords fan or maybe not into Gunpla, this kit was a fun build. This definitely one of my favorite kits that I built so far. It was a fun kit to put this together. It wasn't too complex, at least to me it was not. Then again, I've been doing this for quite some time. I would not say this for beginners, not just yet. I would definitely say maybe add a year, maybe 2 at the very least, before you challenge this kit. But I don't find this kit very complex, actually. If you want to do any customized paint, that is up to you to decide. I personally don't think this. I personally don't think this kit needs any customized painting. I don't think so. It looks great with the silver. It looks great with a gunmetal dark gray contrast as well. Then again, I did not like that little gold part at the back of the leg, so that much I will say that should have some customization. Then again, the plastic that comes with it was like a yellowish color, so yeah, definitely paint that gold in my personal opinion. But other than that, this kit was made for panel lining. That was the only custom thing I would say this kit should have in case you were to get this to your collection. But yes, I would say this by far is a kit to have. And that's it for the Storm Starter. Again, a very fun build. Highly recommend. That's, you know what, I'm just gonna repeat myself over and over again. So that's the basis of this video. Just fun build. Not too challenging, but definitely not for beginners. And definitely a great addition to your model kit collection, especially if it's Zord one, and actually will look good for some aerial Gundam kits you may have. So definitely highly recommend. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching. This is a very good 3-video review on this kit. Definitely fun. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, share this video to all who you believe will enjoy this. I have 2 social media platforms, a Reddit account and a Instagram account. Links would be in the description. So again, thank you again for watching, and until next time, keep on building.